Hello everyone, here we are again in this speed painting because I just wanted to explain more about my process and how I do things in Photoshop because some people may have requested that on my Instagram. You can check that out anyways. So I wanted to tell you what I use. This is Photoshop as you can see on the top left corner, and I draw with Wacom, and I have been using it since 2016, if I recall correctly. This is what I use at the moment. And I try to find some good reference picture. This time I adding the picture to the canvas because it is easier to me, I think. And so you can see how similar and how not similar it is my drawing to the real photo, because I usually look for a pose or a hairstyle or something that catch my attention, but not to exactly copy unless I am especially doing a photo practice because I want to improve in my anatomy or in the expression or in my painting process, something like that. That is the only times I actually try to only focus into replicating the image that is right in front of me. Into this one in specifically, I am doing this awkward design because I always does do them, and I think this is my only OC I have ever done because I always like this character that has two cinnamon buns in her hair for some reason, and short hair. I don't know. I just find her so cute, and the style or something is just something I really like, and I wanted to bring her again, like to close up the 2019. This is the last drawing I'm doing, digitally at least. I think I'm going to finish on a sketchbook, and a sketch I did on my sketchbook. Sorry, I can't speak English, but nonetheless, I really wanted to try her again. So here I am doing adding more details to her eyes. I wanted to approach more the Ilya Kufinosh. Sorry if I am butchering that name. This guy.
Илья Кувшинов.
This guy, I am going to add pictures. He is awesome and he draw like so anime, but at the same time so realistic. It is such a unique style, and I love him, and I love his drawing. He is a really skilled artist. I felt inspired by him, so that is why this looks a little bit more anime style, because I wanted to approach like the tiny nose and the not so big mouth, the lips, because I always draw lips very big for some reason, but I wanted to go for the kawaii version, if I may put it in that way. Here I am trying some weird pose, and I stare at my screen for a really long time, as you can see, because that wasn't convincing me. So either was deleting the thing I was doing for about an hour and starting again, or sticking with this one that I didn't like how it turned out, her face and her expression. I think it looks really stiff, and I didn't I didn't want that. I wanted like a relaxed pose, and she looked so forced in that position. I don't know how I managed to do that, seriously, but at the end of the day, I decided to delete that. Actually, you can see, wait a second for it, but I really was dedicated to this version. Actually, I really want her kawaii and cute. Here, as you can see, I completely decided to delete the one I had before because her position was stressing me out. It looked so stiff, and I decided to completely mess up the other sketch, the previous sketch I had, and focus only on that. I really like her looking in this one, and the tiny shadow below her lips. and I think it looked more kawaii in this version. So I decided to add more details to it, if see if it really convinces me to start painting, or if I should only delete everything and start all over again. But I was dedicated to this version because I don't know, I really like her pose. I was really happy with this illustration because I was doing my character, like I said before. So I decided to push up a little bit and give really try to a moment for a second there. I added a little more details to her hair. I normally what I do is I began with a sketch. I then decided to lower the opacity of that sketch and then do the liner over it all over again. In this case, I what I'm doing is I have the previous version of the sketch I did, but I don't know if I want to continue or not. So let me work a little bit on this sketch, like if it is my line art. Let me try to put it into words. Here what I'm doing is I am improving the sketch I had like it is the line art. I am doing the lines a little more darker. I am adding a lot of more details. I am erasing that guiding lines I did before. I am improving her ear. And then I said it is good enough or something and decided to go with the painting. I started by tracing all the borders with whatever color. Here I'm using black because I really want to see her silhouette when it is all over, because I really want to, if you look at it from afar or from your tiny cell phone screen, you can still see what she's doing. She's doing that peace sign. She's a kawaii girl with two cinnamon buns on her hair, and you can see that only from the silhouette. So this is something I am trying to improve now. Actually, I decided to apply this technique of using the silhouette to see if it transmits the message you wanted to get across. So then I now decided to start with the colors. This is like a more chill part. I only go with the colors I really like. I like reds. I like that red pink in between. That I think it is magenta, but I am not sure. Let me go. Let me Google that a little quick. No, it is not it. It's this one. This one is the one I like. Anyways, let's get back to the drawing. Like I said, this part it is a little more chill. I only pick the colors I like. I like to play around with the colors and the contrast of the color. Choose the hue. That is, at least in Photoshop, it is the thing you the tones of the colors per se, and you can also choose the saturation. That is something you can also play with, and the opacity, the how light or how dark a color is. And if the colors contrast well, it also pops out. I don't know if you if I learned this more of like a practice and error thing, not like a solid method behind it. If you put a really light color, uh, pair with some dark ones, it doesn't have to be black, pure black, to say a dark color. I mean, for example, her hair is dark in this illustration, but also the red in the background is a little more brighter than that black, but the skin of her color is more light, like it is lighter. So as you can see, there are three main colors, yeah, at least in this illustration at the moment. And the thing is, I like to play around with the colors. I really want more creative with this one than I usually go with. I was trying to decide what to do with it. I first tried to add more details, like it was more realistic painting for some reason, even though nothing from this is realistic. I don't know. I was just really inspired by Ilya that I just got lost. I decided to do more harder shadows to look more like the markers I use on my traditional illustrations. instead of going for a realistic painting that it never goes well actually. I don't like them that much, but I think it goes well to validate myself that I know how to paint, even though I don't know how to paint. That is a problem in itself, but that is a problem for another day. And then I decided to add a little more light things to pop this something. I don't know. I was just playing around with the colors. I have seen, for example, Ramon Núñez utilizar Dios. Sorry, I have seen Ramon Núñez illustration, and he also does these bold lights to pop things up. I don't know how to explain myself, but I decided to not go with it because I didn't like how it was turning out. So I decided to go with my graphic designs in an unexistent degree, this square thing, and adding a little more details just to make this composition a little more interesting. Then at the end, actually, the end result ended up being completely different of what I have done, actually. So I don't know. Let me know what you're saying. Roast my art on my Instagram or here on the comments or something. I don't know. Have a nice day. Goodbye.